Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is yet another installment of the Married Man Side Heffa Saga. So, before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who has been praying for me and my family. Um, my mama is doing okay. I still am not in a place where I want to discuss everything that has been going on with her, but just continue to keep us lifted up in prayer. I still don't know what she wants to decide to do. So, yeah, when it does come down to a major decision that she has to make for herself, I will let y'all know about that. But in the meantime, in between time, we're just praying that something happens, a miracle happens. As far as Hurricane Ida is concerned, everybody is okay. I was able to get my days off. So today was supposed to be like the worst of it. We were supposed to get like heavy downpours, a lot of aerial flooding. Where I live, my street does not flood, so I don't worry about stuff like that. Um, and I wasn't gonna leave the house. I actually thought about leaving the house, but I was like, for what? Like, my landlord ain't gonna come over here and get the rent. So what's the point of me going and get it, and then she ain't gonna come over here? So yeah, yeah, because I like going like on certain days to go get it or to go run errands or whatever. And today would have been a day that I would have gone to go and get my rent or run some errands or whatever. So yeah, I was at the house enjoying the rain. I was gonna actually not go live, but I wanted to do a video earlier because I really do love rain. Like, it was so amazing earlier. I was gonna go out on the balcony and do it. I was like, let me go somewhere and sit down. Cause these people gonna be like, girl, why is you outside? I wasn't afraid of, lightning or anything like that. I don't even think it was really lightning going on like that. We ain't had no nothing like that going on. So I wasn't worried about that. I ain't had no thunder. So yeah. Anyway, we are okay. My folks are okay. They let me know that at the time of them sending the video message to me that they were all right and that it was currently raining, but they were good. The rain had already passed through here, I think, because I was asleep again, like I said. Um, so the only thing that happened for me was that the electricity went out. I don't know what the cause of it was because I didn't look into it, but typically over here, the people, first of all, the people in this state, in Virginia, they don't know how to drive. So, most of the time when the electricity is out where I live, it's because somebody ran into a pole. And there can be no weather at all going on. Literally, they could just be like, oops, ran into the pole. And then we got to wait for the people to come out and restore it. So they came out and restored it within an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I was good. I was watching a TV show that a lot of y'all are into right now. I ain't going to say what it is. When I'm caught up on it, I might say something about it, but it is what it is. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this foolishness. So, off rip, I just want to say that the original Married Dude that this series was about, as of right now, he's been pretty tame. When he see me, he'll speak, but I feel like he is gonna start back up and he is gonna try again. So for right now, he has accepted that I'm not here for it. I'm not trying to hang out with you. No, I don't want to give you my phone number. You good. I'm good. So, moving right along. So, the other married dude that I work with, he and I work in the same department. This week, he is at the top of the rotation list. So, he has already been told that he got to come in. They tried to have him to stay over on Tuesday, which is our Friday. So, he ended up actually getting somebody to take his spot. He typically will be like, all right, so to avoid that, if I'm going to have to come in or if I want to volunteer to work, I would rather come in 4 hours early than to stay possibly up to 4 hours after my actual shift has ended. So yeah, you just gotta hope that you ain't gonna have to stay over, cause y'all, I'm gonna get into why he wanted to go ahead and not have to do that specifically on Tuesday. So anyway, I don't think I told y'all this, but he and I had a conversation one day, And like I told y'all before, he approaches me and talks to me like we are like cool, like we friends. He's respectful, but like when he want to tell me something that's like okay, I know how I know where you stand as far as married dudes approach you and all that, but I think you look this type of way. He still will tell me from time to time. So we were talking one day and he just randomly approached me. He was like, "Man, I'm divorcing my wife at the beginning of this year. At the beginning of next year, excuse me." So I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm divorcing her. Like, I can't do it no more." Because at first he was telling me that he don't know if he can do that. And then he told me that she actually had been going throughout the house breaking TVs and punching holes in the wall. And I said, "Well, why was she doing all that?" Got to find out one day he was asleep. She went through his phone and saw some things she didn't want to see. So she tore up some stuff. So he has got to the point where he was like, "I'm not finna go through that house, replacing stuff." She tearing up my house. She tried to like fix some of the walls that she put holes in or whatever. But he said he ain't doing nothing repair wise until she is out the house, if that even is going to be the situation. Because I asked him, I said, "Well, how are you going to go about it? Because you told me before you didn't know whether or not you were going to leave the house or you were going to hope that she was going to leave." So he's still not sure about that, because I was like, "You already told me she barely worked. So she don't bring no money in the house. Your name is on everything." And so I'm like, "Okay, so how is that going to go?" Like, if you leave the stuff to her, it's going to fall on you if she don't pay them bills. So essentially, like, I'm not finna sit up. Look, for me personally, if my name is on everything solely, you gonna get up out. Like, if we ain't together no more, you finna get up out. That's just what it's gonna be. And they sleep in 2 separate bedrooms. And I'm like, you would think this is a roommate situation, but it's not, because she is barely paying the light bill. So it's like, And he just told me, like, it's just gotten to the point where he'll come home from work trying to sleep, knowing that he got a 12-hour shift ahead of him, and he can't sleep because she loud and their son is loud. Now, she's the adult in the situation, and it's like, "Ma'am, why can't you keep the child quiet? I understand that it's a child. The child is 4 years old. But you should have been teaching the child something, or taking them into the furthest room away from where he sleep, so that if he's going to be loud, he can be loud in there and it's not as bad. Or take him outside to play and all this other stuff." Like, I'm not understanding. So, like, he was like, "Yeah, I get to the house, I can't even sleep." Like Tuesday when we came in, he said he didn't sleep good at all. So he definitely ain't trying to stay over. So I was like, "Golly, what happened?" So that's when he told me that he couldn't sleep because her and the child was loud. I was like, that don't make no sense to me. She know that you are the breadwinner. She knows that you are the one paying all the bills, with the exception of the electricity bill that she, in all honesty, from what he told me, she need to be paying that, because she'll have the AC on full blast, freezing it out, and she the one at the house 99% of the time, and he barely at the house. Now, granted, he got a couple of side chicks. Listen, I don't be understanding. This is something I wanted to bring up. I don't understand why the married men, the men who are engaged to be married, and the ones who have girlfriends are the main ones who shoot they shot. They really be putting in so much effort to set it off for somebody else when they already got somebody. I don't understand that. And then, like, at least in my situation, I don't be understanding. Like, the married men come all from out the bushes and everywhere else to try to roll up. And I just be like, why? Why? But then the ones that are single, that I think, they look nice, and I know how their personalities are because I've had conversations with some of these people. It's like they want to be a wallflower, and no, you need to roll up. You need to roll up. You need to take this same energy that these married folks seem to have and have that same initiative. I don't be understanding Like they really be sitting up there posted up on the wall and just be staring at me and be rolling up and barely saying anything. But I know they like me, and I just be like, no, I'm not looking for anything. But if this type of energy is going to be given, I want to receive that from somebody who is exactly like me, meaning single. Like, I just be so tired. But anyway, y'all, let's get back to what's going on. So I asked him, I said, like, are you sure that you really gonna get divorced? Like, you need, do you think you need a little bit more time to think about it? He was like, nah, I ain't thinking about nothing else no more. It's gonna have to happen. Like, I hate I gotta do it. It's gonna have to be what it's gonna be. And he told me that he feel bad for cheating on her, but they don't have sex no more. And he don't want to have sex with her no more. He has no desire to have sex with her. She stole money from him. Like he put like $100 bill on a end table or something the other day. And so she she went around the house with him acting like she was trying to help him find it. Like, dang, where it at? So then he went to work, and then he said that he feels like she felt bad because she stole the money. But even right now, to this day, trying to make it seem like, oh, well, it was up under the bed. But can I have like half of it as a finder's fee? I'm like, Heffa, like, what we nothing to do is that you already just stole the money. Now you feel bad about it. And he was like, you know what? I don't even feel like arguing. Yeah, you can have half of it, even though I know. Like, he didn't say that, but he basically was like, even though I know you stole the money and tried to play like you didn't know what it was, you can have half of it. And he said that his son, the 4-year-old, he don't touch money. He don't touch nothing that don't belong to him. They already taught him that, or at least he says that he taught him that. So he already know. He said he will sit money somewhere and the son won't even look that direction. So he already know the son didn't take it and then, throw it somewhere or whatever and was playing with it. So he already knew it had to be her. And he ain't careless with money like that. He legit put it on the table and then went back to retrieve it, and the heifer had pocketed it. And it's like, ma'am, what we lying for? So, yeah, he was like, I'm tired of her and all of this. So I was like, look, you know what I'm saying? From my previous experience as a social worker, and I don't know when I'm going to go back into that because of all this stuff that's been going on, but I'm just saying, I told him that, if you really are serious about going through with this, you do know that if you decide to stay at the house, you're going to have reinforcements. You're going to have to go ahead and have a sheriff to come out there to the house with you. You're going to have them to come out there, especially if you present her with a divorce and you want them to come deliver the papers to her, or you going to deliver them, you're going to have somebody present because she going to set it off. And if she got to get up out the house right then and there, you need to have somebody present. You need to have law enforcement present. I'm sorry, I don't really want law enforcement involved in nothing because y'all see how situations pop off. But I'm just saying, like, if your name is on everything and you can prove that, you can go and tell them, okay, there's somebody who's living at my home. I don't want them there. They need to leave, whatever. You have a right to do that because their name is not on nothing and they ain't paying no bills. So I told him, you already know. She gonna tab everything, and you definitely need to make sure that both of your vehicles are not at the house. Right now, she's driving one of his vehicles, even though he don't want her to, but he got to make sure she got a vehicle, to go back and forth with the child. Even though I don't even think she does anything. I think that somebody else comes and gets the child. I don't know. But anyway, the few hours that she does work at a job, she goes back and forth to that job or whatever, using his vehicle. And I just straight up told him, you need to make sure that them cars ain't at the house. And then when I said that, he told me that at one point in time, she threatened to leave. And then she said that she was going to bust the windows out of his car. And it's the car that he drives to work. And he loves that car, even though you would think that the other car that she drives is the car that he would be driving. I ain't gonna go into what the cars are because that might give some folks away. So I ain't gonna do that. So anyway, but yeah, when she did it, he brought that up to me. I was like, see, like I said, you need to make sure both of your vehicles are not at the house when this news is delivered to her, because she might break some windows on the way out. and she might put some sugar in the tank on the way out. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Like anything that is of value that you don't want to be destroyed or damaged, I'm gonna need for you to make sure it's not at the house. And definitely have somebody present who is going to escort her off the premises because it's finna be a wrap. I'm just saying, it is what it is. So he told me he gonna get a divorce. I don't know if that's what it's gonna be or not. I don't know. Even if that were to happen, he told me that he is going to stay single for a while, if not for the rest of his life, because he like being out there in them streets. And I'm like, yeah, do that, because I don't even understand what you got married for. And he said he don't know what he got married for either, because he like being out there. He pretty much like being out there. And it's like, he like, look, I was shocked he said this the other day, but he said that, you know, I don't wish no hate or ill will towards her or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I love her, but I like her or whatever, but I don't love her like that, and I ain't in love with her no more. But I feel like she need to be able to be with somebody who will give her what she want or whatever she desire, because it ain't me. I ain't here for her. I don't want to be with her. I was like, oh, okay, woo, child. So yeah, but he ain't here for her no more. And I was like, woo. Hopefully he don't think that's going to open the door for us to do nothing, because I ain't here for it. I'm not here for it. Don't care if he presents a divorce decree. I'm not here for it. So yeah. And like I keep trying to tell y'all, I'm too much for these people. I'm too much. People cannot handle me. And I'm good where I'm at. So yeah. Let's see. Where else? So Side Heffa, she's still in this new relationship. So the other day, literally our Friday, the people told me that I had to go and help do something. The most hated job in there. They told me I had to go and do this task. And I'm just like, bruh. I was hoping that the schedule was going to change. But when I came in that Tuesday, it still said the same thing. So I was like, okay, whatever. So, you know, for me, I don't get mad about that stuff. I don't, rile myself up. I'm like, okay, this is something I'm going to have to do, whatever. Y'all tell me why. Somebody approached me like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour before part of the task was going to have to start getting done, and was like, well, I know you don't want to do it. Do you want me to trade with you? I was like, what? Like, don't nobody be trying to trade with you to do nothing like that. I'm sorry. Like, now, I ain't gonna lie to you. The married dude, sometimes he'll go and like do it for me if we're in our department. But to me, stuff don't be to my liking. And the audit need to be done. And I ain't got time for them to be like, well, who did this? Y'all need to go back up in there and do this again. If I'm gonna do it, they not gonna have to come back and say nothing to me no more. I'm sorry. I don't, stuff like that, turn my nerves up. And I want it done right the first time. So when I do it, it's done right the first time. So I don't worry about it if I know it's me. But if it's somebody else, I'm like, I don't know. I do it. Like, I don't want to, but I do it. All of y'all know that I don't like doing this. All of y'all know I don't like doing this task. So yeah, it is what it is. So I'm thinking this dude lying, because he tried me one day. Last week, it was either last week or the week before last, they ended up having me to come in on my day off. My 100% full day off is Wednesdays. I have to prep on Thursdays, but that's supposed to be my day off too, but whatever. So anyway, child, they sat up there and they had it where I worked half my shift and then somebody was supposed to come in behind me. So he gonna try to tell me that, oh, well, she ain't coming, the person who's supposed to relieve me and work the other half of my shift. I was like, what are you talking about? The schedule says she coming in. So what you talking about? He was like, no, she ain't coming. You're going to have to work the whole shift. Like, he really was convincing. So he told my nerves up. So when I went down to my break, I said, all right, if I come back, that means that this heifer ain't coming for real. And the schedule was still the same. So he lied. So I was like, boy, tearing my nerves up. Because I was excited when I came in, because at first I thought I was going to have to work the whole shift. So when I came in and it only said 4 hours, I was like, okay, good. Because I didn't want to be up in here on my off day anyway. Y'all do not need me. Like, they really be trying me, y'all. Like, they really be trying me. Then when I came in, I had to do the most hated job. I was like, bruh, y'all really... See, this is why, like, I went into the meeting. Y'all, I went into the pre-shift meeting setting it off. Like, see, this is wild. Soon as the supervisor gave me the list of the things that was going to happen that day, I said, see, this is why I don't like coming in on my day off. And I didn't care who heard me. I was tired. Like, I was literally tired, and I was tired in my spirit. So I was like, this is why I don't like coming in on my day off. Y'all always have some foolishness popping off. So anyway, I went up there and did what I was supposed to do. Ain't nobody have nothing going on. The audit went smooth as usual because I was the one who did the job, whatever. So that was cool. But man, this time he was telling the truth. So he switched with me to do the task. Y'all, something popped off while the side heifer was on her lunch break. It was her first break. She was on her first break. It was like halfway through her first break and something popped off. And so the most hated thing in the world at that job for me, we was going to have to do it like 2 different times. And I'm like, all right, now y'all look, wait. So when he came over there and basically said what he said, I was like, I kept asking him, like, are you lying? Like, are you going to switch with me for real? Like, what? And so eventually I was like, I'm going to walk off. Like, I'm finna go over here to my department because first of all, I was going to be able to go to my department. I like my home department. My home department is the least problematic. And I love my department. I just love my department. We ain't got no foolishness going on over there. Everybody that actually is deemed to be somebody that works in my department, I'm cool with all of them. So I ain't got time. So I happily went over there. Then the married dude came back from his break. He asked me what the dude was. I said, oh, he over there. He switched with me. And so he was confused. Do you understand? Like, I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah. Because as soon as he had a confused look on his face, I was like, I know. And I told him the update about what was going on. And he knows that most hated thing that we don't like doing was coming up too. So he was like, oh, well, he must be doing that because y'all, a situation popped off, right? Wait a minute. So let me tell you what happened. Okay, so side heifer went to break. And I was watching, I was taking care of her stuff for her. Okay? I did my job and hers. At the time, the other person, I don't know what in the world. First of all, I think at that time the side heifer went to break because something else happened earlier, and she said she actually came to me and told me she was going to the bathroom. Normally, this heifer just walks off and don't nobody know where she at, and y'all I ain't finna get into that. But at that particular moment, nobody was up there with me. In that department, the side heifer's department. Y'all, little did I know, nobody was over in my department either. So then somebody came up and was like, are you the person that's supposed to be over here? I was like, I'm just over here in this department. And so like it's like he kept asking the same question, but different ways. I was like, no, I'm only over here in this department. I'm only doing things. I'm only paying attention to what's going on in this department. So he was like, oh, okay. Y'all, first of all, this man was tall, chocolatey, solid, and everything. I don't know if he came to like take somebody's spot because some folks was off or something, and he was working downstairs. And I was just like, who are you and where'd you come from? What's going on here? But then, so I didn't know what was going on. So then when I went over to my department, the married dude was like, oh, he must be trying to get away from the supervisor because we didn't know what was going on. And y'all, both of them went to break at the same time. I was like, what? No, what you talking about? Like, they were like, oh, well, we didn't know that this was what was going to happen in the department. So wasn't nothing going on. So we both basically went to break at the same time. And I was like, oh, okay. I was just like, I'm not even going to interject. I don't even care. But at this point, old boy is thinking that he going to get rolled up. That's pretty much what we thinking is the reason why he ran over there. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to if I'm going to get the write up anyway, I might as well stay over here. Why would I decide, yes, let me go leap over into hell? Like, no. I was like, I don't care. I would have politely stayed at my department and not been over there inside Heffa's department to do all that foolishness that they had going on. Y'all tell me why. Like I told y'all before, I don't play when it comes to that stuff that got to do with that audit. They had to do something. Y'all tell me why they supervisor was looking for them. They had disappeared. And they ended up having to go back up there again and do it again. And I don't have time. That's why I do it right the first time. But then when I go over there and help, they always want to try to make it seem like I ain't doing my job and I ain't doing it right. Apparently I am, because when I'm a part of it, it gets done correctly the first time. Don't nobody got to come tell me to do it again. So anyway, I digress. I got to calm down because people really be trying to try me. Okay, y'all. So anyway, I was so glad to not be over there. I ain't know what to do. So anyway, so yeah, y'all. So the gist of all of this is the married dude is saying that he gonna get a divorce at the beginning of the year, but he is not sure as to where he gonna live because he has been paying on this place, and that's why he works over. Like he been pulling 12-hour shifts like almost every single day for like a couple of months straight. The side heifer, I'm still gonna keep my eye on her. I don't trust her still, despite the fact that she ain't dealing with the married dude no more. It is what it is, though. Y'all, I ended up going to my break 15 minutes after I switched over to my department, right? So I went downstairs and I told the dude who came up there, who I told you I was the tall chocolatey dude, I went and told him, I said, look, I don't know what was going on over here earlier, but I'm over there now. I'm going to break right now, though. So in 30 minutes, just let me know if something has popped off because it's not my fault. Now, after that time frame, it's going to be my fault. You can blame me. So he kind of was like, it was a little vibe type of situation going on. I was like, boy, don't do it. Don't do it. So anyway, y'all tell me why. The other dude that I told y'all that I was going to be a thug about it and roll up on him and talk to him, like he sets it off. Y'all, Tuesday was just so random. Okay, so it was this dude, the dude that I told y'all about who has the Widowmaker heart. So he gonna tell me, where you been? I ain't seen you all week. I was like, sir, we're not finna do this. He loves trying to make it seem like I don't come to work, but it's him that don't come to work. So anyway, he went around lying all day, talking about I don't do no work. And then I came and disturbed him and his partner. And then I came up there and was like, well, if y'all in y'all department, and I looked at him sideways and was cussing everybody out. And then everybody downstairs thinks that I'm just this angel and I'm so sweet. But I'm really not. I'm the opposite. I really was standing there like, what are you talking about? And so he was like, see, you see how she looking right now? See, that's how she be getting y'all. She lying. Like, he was playing. But I was like, boy, don't do that. But the dude who I told y'all about that I was a thug about it, I rolled up on him. He ended up coming in there because I normally don't eat in there at all. And I saw this girl who I wanted to talk to, and he just so happened to be in there. So I gave him the stare down, old boy who was trying me with the Widowmaker heart. I gave him the stare down, like it was the Diddy and that man with that blonde hair stare down. That's how we was looking. We was looking like that. So anyway, y'all, he was over in the corner. He was just looking and I was like, boy, don't do this. He is so fine, y'all. Oh my gosh, y'all. I wish that I could show y'all what this man looked like. He is tall, chocolatey. He got a beard. He got a nice beard. It's the gap for me. He got a nice gap too. Like, child, y'all don't understand. He bald. And he young. He just fine for no reason. So anyway, like he be setting it off, y'all. He really be setting it off. And like, I'm still mad, y'all. I'll probably have said this about 3 times. I'm still mad about that day when he actually had all of this, this nice energy that I spoke of earlier that I wish these single people would have and approach me. He rolled up while I was in the middle of a conversation with somebody else, and like he was like, yeah. And he started talking. And then like the other person I was talking to walked off. He was talking to me. We were talking about work, and then the conversation started to shift. And this raggedy heifer rolled up and started talking. And it just became like uncomfortable. And he was just like, I feel like I'm standing here for no reason. Let me go on about my business. And he walked off and I'm like, you cock blocking. Heifer, you don't get him somewhere. Like he really was a thug about it that day. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Don't do it. like, oh, we're off. Y'all don't understand. That boy is so fine. Oh my God. And he one of the people I feel like he don't know he fine. Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm blow y'all mind with this. Let me tell y'all this because I knew I was going to forget, but I remembered at the last second. So y'all know the OG married dude, right? Y'all going to read me. Y'all going to read me. It's okay, though. Y'all going to read me. Guess who he looked like to me? And I've already told y'all before that he don't move me in the looks department. Like, I never looked at him when I finally saw his mask off and was like, ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, just ooh. I ain't never felt like that about him. I still don't feel that way about him. He's not ugly. But he just ain't somebody that, like, if he were single, I don't think I would even go out on a date with him. I don't know what it is. His personality, and he seems slow. Y'all guess who he looked like to me? And y'all gonna read me down. Let me just cover my face in shame. Okay, y'all. So he looked like the game / Jadena. I'm serious, y'all. That's how he looked, okay? Except his face is like puffier than theirs or whatever. He ain't no fat dude or whatever. So I don't know what that's about. But to me, like, if I had to say he looked like a celebrity, he legit looked like Jadena / the game. Let me hang my head in shame some more. But I ain't here for him. I'm not. And y'all probably are going to question what I think is fine after that. But yeah, y'all, he married. I ain't got time. That's probably a part of it that makes me just turned off even more. Like, you married, sir. I don't want that. I don't want it. And you was with the side. Y'all, wait a minute. Tell me why. Tell me why the married dude that I work with. He randomly said on Tuesday, y'all, so much stuff popped off Tuesday alone. I can't. That's why this thing done got long. So anyway, he said to me, like, he elaborated a little bit more on as to why he does not think that the side heifer is attractive at all. Like, why he thinks she is so ugly. Now, she ain't really much in the looks department to begin with. Her or her twin sister. But the twin sister ain't that terrible and bad off as her. Something is going on with her face. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if somebody cut her back in the day, if she fell and hurt herself. Like, she got some kind of mark on her face. And then it's like something be doing something right here. I don't know what it is. So it does not help in the looks department or whatever. Man, he was reading her down. He was like, man. And I was like, look, all you got to do, it's all the same in the dark. Like, when you, like, I really be trying to be petty. I be trying to be petty. I was like, you could have been on that roster. He was like, no, man, I am not interested in her. He was like, man, to be honest, I feel like she'll be that type of person to try to tell me what to do. And I don't even think I'd be able to get hard. I was like, yes, you would. Yes, you would. Just imagine that you're with somebody else that you're attracted to. He said, if I got to do all that, I might as well use this. I died laughing. Like, he was like, I'm sorry. I ain't doing all that. If I got to do all that, I'm not doing it. I'm not finna fool with you. I don't think I could get hard. Like, he had me dying. The New York accent is what really be killing me. It be doing me in. I be about to be in the flow every day. Like, I see him every day I work. Like, for real. And so he be having me dying. So yeah, he is not here for how she look. And I mean, I get to a certain extent. Because I don't know what it is, y'all. Like, if I can show y'all what she look like, y'all be like, ooh, okay. It's not quite giving Flavor Flav, but it's somewhat in that ballpark. And ain't nobody never, seriously, like, could pass a lie detector test saying that Flavor Flav is fine. So we not even finna go there. So y'all, speaking of married people, since it's already long, I might as well go ahead and go into this as well. So for me, I just don't understand. Like, okay, y'all, like I already told y'all before, for some reason, the married dudes be the ones that set it all the way off on the left, right, front, and the back. They the ones that really stay shooting their shot, and they'll shoot their shot, miss, and then go back for the layup. And I just be like, why? For what? So anyway, So after my relationship was over, there have been like several dudes who have approached me or whatever, whether they were taken or not. So a couple of people are this one dude who is single now. He had a girlfriend at the time, and another dude who is married, and he's been married like 10 years. So the dude who had a girlfriend, he approached me and offered. He was like, "Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to tell you that you were beautiful, but at the same time, I wanted to let you know I do have a girlfriend, so I don't want to come off disrespectful, whatever, whatever." So I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you for letting me know." So he was like, "Oh, well, can I get your Instagram if you have Instagram or whatever?" And he let me know the business side of what he had going on. I said, "Sure." Now, this man, he legit lives here. He lives less than 5 minutes away from me. This is the single dude now. He's single now. Okay? So then the other guy who approached me, he's married. So we were talking and he was like, "Hey," he said pretty much the same thing. And we actually have like normal conversations. And so he let me know off rip the same day he approached me that he had a wife. And at the time they had been married like 8 years. They've been married like 10 now or whatever. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I'm like, "Well, as long as you don't roll up on me sideways, you have respectful conversations. I don't think there's anything wrong with you talking to me or whatever." Like, and legit, he legit approaches me and he talks to me about things that he thinks that I'll be able to give him advice on. Because so far, everything that I've given him advice on has worked, for the most part. For the most part. Let me just put it like that. There are some things that haven't worked out because she's not willing to try them. Um, so yeah, he just came to me the other day for advice, and I told him about some stuff that I use on my body, and he was like, "Oh, well, she hasn't used that before. I'm gonna see if it'll work." And it's something that actually can help medically with her. And like okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. I think I told y'all like when it happened. Y'all, one day randomly I was at work and out of nowhere there was a very like small spot under my boob that like was stinging, and it was like it was stinging slash itching, but it was hurting. And I was like, "What in the world?" I don't know what in the world happened. I think it was because I had gotten really, really sweaty. I had worked a lot and I got irritated. I don't know what that was about. But I immediately, when I got off, went home, took a shower, and it took everything in me to thoroughly wash that area. But I got it done. But what I said was, this is something that has always been effective. For anything that I needed to do, let me do it and see if it worked. And it did. So I washed and dried that area. And then I ended up putting some coconut oil up under it, under my boob in that area or whatever. So in any of my crevices and things like that, anywhere where moisture slash bacteria and all that stuff can grow, I put coconut oil in it and do what I got to do. And I don't have those issues no more like that. And that had never in life ever happened to me before. I hadn't changed my detergent. I hadn't changed my fabric softener. I hadn't changed my dryer sheets. I don't know what that was about. My deodorant hadn't changed. Nothing changed that I had been putting on me or anything that I ate during that time. So I was confused. It was a random allergic reaction to life. I don't know what in the world that was about. But that scared me. I ain't never had nothing like that to happen to me before. But I told him that, he should try that out because something happened to her. And they haven't had sex in a month now. Today makes a month exactly on the dot. And I was like, "What?" Because I always play with him. I'm like, "Yeah, that's why you went." Because he was like, "Oh, I thought I responded to you." I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "Oh, you good? You had that good sex. That's what that was about. And then you went to sleep early." And he was like, "Oh no, we ain't had sex no more." I was like, "What? What's going on here? What you talking about?" Y'all, in his relationship, she was the first person he ever had sex with in all of his life, right? When they met. And he said the sex was amazing when they first got together. It was very, very frequent. After they got married, it went down to whenever she wanted to do it, and that's it. And I was like, "What is that about? Like, did y'all have a conversation?" Like, I've encouraged him to have sit-down conversations with her to express what he wants sexually out of her. and all this other stuff, because I feel like if you are in a marriage, you should be able to go to your partner and say, hey, this isn't working for me. Can we change this up? Can we slowly try to incorporate this? Because you don't want it to come off as something that's shocking and it's just too much off rip. You need to ease into it or whatever. She ain't been receptive to nothing. And when I tell you it's some of the smallest things, I'm like, she don't even want to do that. She don't even want to do that. And it's like, I'm just like, she ain't even got the ailments that I have. So I'm like, what? Y'all, it's just too much. So we have discussed divorce before because he has straight up told me he don't know what he gonna do and that it has crossed his mind. And I'm like, ooh, child. Okay. Wow. So yeah, and I was like, you ain't gonna leave her. Like, y'all, his situation is so ignorant. Like, I would not. I done been in some foolish situations before, but ain't no way I'm gonna be married to somebody. We have a place together and we married and we're alone. And now we have to sneak around because we now live in her father's. They live in her daddy's house. Her mama passed away some years ago, and she was like, oh, let's move in with my daddy. I don't want him to be sad or something like that. And I was just like, y'all could go check on him. Like, I understand he's lonely. That don't mean y'all got to move in the house. But he tried to make excuses talking about, oh, well, this is going to be a way for us to save money so we can move out and get our own house instead of just renting it from an apartment. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to understand. But my thing is this, he know y'all married and y'all can't do nothing in the house. Like, it's just too much. When I tell y'all it's too much going on, he be making my head hurt. Well, initially when all this information came out, because I was just like, I'm not finna sit up here. Like, he really lives for sex. He loves the sex. And he be having to just get his own self off because it had got to the point that even before they moved in with him, sex wasn't hardly happening. And if it wasn't something of the oral persuasion that was happening to her, it was not popping off. And I said, oh, well, what if you were to say, oh, I ain't gonna give you nothing, you're cut off? And he was like, well, she already told me before if that happened and he decided he want to be like that, she'll just go find somebody else that'll do it for her if she felt the need to do so. I was like, I ain't got time. Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too little, actually, but whatever. Then people be going through, and I'm just like, I'm not going to, okay, y'all, this might sound contradictory, but I'm not looking for anything. I have been through so much relationship-wise. I'm tired of my spirit, like, for real. I really am. And people are like, hey, you're such a great person. You're making amazing. Why? Why would you do this to yourself? Just be out there and date. Do this, do that. I'm tired. Y'all, do you see the years that have been added to me because of how tired I am? You know what I'm saying? Outside of the anemia, I'm tired. Like, I actually look my age now. I used to look younger than my age. Now I look my age. I'm tired. Probably look a little bit older than my age now. I'm tired. Like, and then like I was mentioning earlier, there's somebody who is single, who I've been, I have somewhat communication with or whatever. He tried to act like he on the same type of time that I'm on, but then he just has these moments where he's like, oh. And my thing is this, I already told him that I work a lot and I never know whether or not I'm going to be off so we can hang out. He is safe just like I am. Like, we don't play that. We are loners and we don't be around folks. We are around people when we have to be around them for work, but we are not in close proximity of folks and we don't play that. So I'm off. We could have hung out. We could have been hanging out this entire time. We could have been hanging out since yesterday morning. I don't understand. Have I heard from him? No. It's like, and then like, watch, as soon as I go back to work, he gonna set it off. And I'm gonna be like, I've been watching stuff and sleeping and eating, and that's all I've been doing. And he gonna be looking crazy, and I'm gonna be like, oh, well, you didn't reach out. And I don't overextend myself anymore. I've had to tell myself, do not overextend for these folks no more, because people really be taking advantage. And if I'm the one that's not reaching out, then they not reaching out. And I'm like, oh, the only way you gonna contact me is if I reach out. But then the ones who are persistent and reaching out, they're trying to get in the draws. They're trying to get in between thighs and butt cheeks. I'm not trying to have sex with you, so I'm gonna need for you to use that energy on somebody else. Thanks. Like, y'all, I'm so tired. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for the ones who were able to hang in to the end of this video. I know it's a lot to be going on, but I just wish that the single people would have the same exact energy that these married folks be having, because the married people set it off. The married people be setting it off for me. I'd just be like, why? Leave me alone, honey. What is going on here? Leave me alone. Anyway, y'all, I done bothered y'all enough. Hopefully y'all are all right and safe. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later on. Bye.